I have a Rheem 13AJA42A01 outdoor unit and the fan stopped running. It was working fine just a few days ago. Any help on this? What to look for?
Hello. My name is XXXXX Do my best to assist you. Answers are not always one-liners. Please hit the reply button for further assistance. Most likely a bad capacitor. Look at the capacitor first and tell me if it appears to be bulging. If not, we will need a meter to troubleshoot. Let me know and we can go from here. Airheatman 41145.5503932887.
I replaced the capacitor already.
Okay. Do you have a voltmeter for troubleshooting? If so, our first step is to verify 24 volts is coming to the coil side of contactors, 230 volts to line side of contactors, and 230 out of load side of contactors. Make sure no fan wires have come off from the contactor or capacitor. Does the compressor come on?
No, it doesn't. T. Can it be the fan motor to be replaced?
When you say it doesn't, do you mean it doesn't have power into and out of the contactors? Or that the compressor doesn't come on? If neither the fan or compressor comes on, I am suspecting something else. Possibly ants in the contactors or pitted contactors not allowing voltage through. The first thing we need to do is verify where we have voltage and where we don't. If you manually push the contactors in, will the fan and or compressor come on?
It does have power. Neither the compressor or the fan comes on.
Okay, great. Now, do you know what the contactors look like? You should one or the other. Please tell me the exact voltage coming in where the power supply feed the unit and tell me exact voltage coming out on the terminal straight across from those. We will go from there.
It looks like the second picture. I have 230 coming in and 24 volts out.
Now there are two high voltage sides of the contactors. The line side is where the power supply ties in. Then straight across are the load side, which should have 230 volts also. Then on the coil side is where the 24 volts comes in to close the contactors. I have an emergency call and have to go to hospital for a friend. I am going to open up to other experts to step in. Thanks for letting me work with you.
Okay. Thanks for your support.
Hello there. I'm Norman, but you can call me Norm. Let's see what I can do to get you some answers today. First off, please go through the series of tests I have shown below. Please let me know the results of all three tests.
I have 230 volts in and out and 24 volts on the side, just like you're picked.
Perfect. Does the compressor run when you set the system to cool with the temperature down? I know the fan does not, but the compressor should if the problem is only with the fan or fan circuit. If the compressor runs but the fan does not, and the capacitor is without a doubt good, you need to inspect the wiring to the fan, but other than that the problem would be the fan itself. Give it a spin with a stick and see if it spins freely or is seized up. If neither the compressor nor fan run, I'd revert back to the capacitor to make sure you replaced it with the right size/voltage and that you were given a good capacitor.
The compressor is not running either.
You should probably double check that you rewired it correctly. I am unable to locate a schematic to tell you exactly what color wires go where, but the schematic should be on the inside of the door. This will give you colors and show the three terminals of the capacitor, C, H, F. You will have wires to the contactor, wires to the compressor and wires to the fan. Make sure all are right. Also, inspect all of the equipment grounds. If all is correct, I'd pull the capacitor and take it back to the place you got it or a local HVAC parts supplier to be tested with a capacitance tester. Also look at the old one and make sure it's a match with the new ratings.
Yes, the capacitor is wired correctly. Do you think I have to replace the compressor and the motor fan?
I'm not gonna say it isn't possible, but the capacitor would be my first check. Are you able to post a picture of the unit wiring schematic for me? I meant of the wiring diagram on the door. The schematic.
I don't have that. The schematic was on the old capacitor and the new was wired just like it.
Okay. I'd first have the new capacitor tested. Does your capacitor have the C wire going to the contactor and another to the fan, the F wire going to the fan and the H wire going to the compressor at a minimum? WFAN 7941145.7084303241. You may also want to double verify your readings of the contactor as shown in my image above. You don't want to shoot down a compressor and fan over a measuring oversight. And if you want to double check your wiring, it should look very close to this, but the colors may be a little different.
Okay, I will look at it, but if I do need to replace motor and compressor, what should I expect price-wise respectively for this Rheem Corsair unit?
You would be looking at probably around $2,000 to $3,000 to have someone replace both, because the compressor will require someone with a refrigerant license to perform. You might consider replacing the entire condenser if that's the route you end up going. If you check out the items above and all are correct, you might consider calling in an expert before condemning the unit. A trained set of eyes on site might happen across something you missed.
If you have a home improvement or appliance question and want to chat with an expert now, visit justanswer.com/YTHI.